Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by declaring this truth: your mind is the battleground of your future. Everything you are becoming is rooted in what you are believing, and everything you are believing is born from what you are thinking. You were not designed for defeat. Every part of your existence was crafted with intention, purpose, and the potential for greatness. Defeat is not your origin, nor is it your destiny. It is a condition imposed by negative thinking, not a reflection of your true identity. From the moment you entered this world, you carried within you the seeds of excellence, creativity, and resilience. These qualities are not earned, they are embedded. But what often happens is that people allow their thoughts to contradict their design. They begin to entertain ideas that oppose who they truly are. They start to believe they are inadequate, incapable, or unworthy. And the danger lies in this simple truth: whatever you believe about yourself, you give power to. Negative thinking is more than just a mindset. It is a form of self-betrayal. It is agreeing with voices that never created you, never designed you, and never understood your purpose. When you allow negative thoughts to linger, you are rejecting the very image in which you were created. These thoughts say, you're not smart enough, you're too broken, you always mess things up. And slowly, you begin to live a life that aligns with lies instead of truth. But the truth is this: no one was created to live in cycles of shame, fear, and failure. These are conditions developed by allowing the mind to drift away from purpose and into pessimism. Your design is intentional. Just as a manufacturer builds a product with a specific function in mind, so too are you crafted with specific abilities, gifts, and strengths to fulfill a unique role in this world. The designer never intended for the product to fail. If a phone stops working, we don't blame the user. We check for what's interfering with the system. Negative thinking is that interference. It clogs the system, distorts the signal, and prevents you from operating the way you were created to. Understanding that you weren't designed for defeat means you must begin to reject thoughts that are inconsistent with your design. You must treat them like viruses in a program, dangerous, unwelcome, and deserving of immediate removal. If a thought tells you to give up, to settle, or to shrink back in fear, that thought is lying to you. You were designed to rise, to persevere, and to impact. Defeat may try to visit your life, but it doesn't have the right to stay unless you give it permission. You have the capacity to break through limitations, not because of luck or chance, but because your design includes strength under pressure, vision in the midst of darkness, and courage in the face of fear. Refuse to allow negative thinking to keep you living beneath your potential. Refuse to identify with defeat. Your life was meant to move forward, upward, and toward purpose. The moment you realize that defeat is not part of your original design is the moment you begin to live with power. Your thoughts produce your reality. This simple yet profound truth is the foundation for every success story and every personal transformation. What you consistently think about, whether good or bad, shapes how you perceive the world, how you act within it, and ultimately, the life you create for yourself. The mind is a creative force. It does not merely observe life, but participates in forming it. When negative thinking dominates your mind, it acts like a lens that distorts reality, making obstacles appear larger and opportunities seem out of reach. Conversely, positive, focused, and constructive thoughts act like a powerful magnet that draws success, peace, and fulfillment into your life. Consider for a moment how your daily thoughts influence your emotions and actions. If you wake up thinking, "I will fail," or "nothing ever works out for me," your body responds with stress, hesitation, and lowered confidence. This emotional state affects your decisions. Perhaps you avoid taking risks, shy away from challenges, or even sabotage opportunities unconsciously. Over time, these thoughts and behaviors reinforce your initial beliefs, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The unfortunate reality is that many people lie trapped in this cycle, unaware that their dominant thoughts are the architects of their reality. But this is not just about wishful thinking or positive affirmations repeated superficially. It's about the deep, consistent, and intentional focus of your mind on thoughts that build rather than destroy. Your thoughts are the blueprint from which your actions are constructed. Just as an architect draws up plans before the building begins, your mind draws up plans before your life unfolds. If your blueprint is filled with negativity, fear, and doubt, your actions will follow suit. However, when you intentionally cultivate thoughts of hope, possibility, and resilience, your actions will align with growth and achievement. What you think also affects your relationships and environment. Negative thinking tends to isolate you. It creates walls of mistrust, resentment, and bitterness. It can cause you to misinterpret others' intentions, fueling conflict and loneliness. On the other hand, a mind trained to think positively and constructively opens the door to compassion, understanding, and cooperation. This not only improves your social life, but creates a supportive network that fuels your dreams and aspirations. Furthermore, thoughts are powerful because they influence the energy you emit. People are naturally drawn to positive energy, inspiration, and confidence. When your mind is occupied by negative thoughts, you repel opportunities and positive people because your energy signals doubt and defeat. But when your mind is clear, hopeful, and purpose-driven, you attract resources, mentors, and allies. This invisible law of attraction demonstrates how thoughts do more than shape your inner world. They reach outward and mold your external reality. The key, then, is to become aware of your thought patterns and take control of them. It's not about suppressing all negative thoughts instantly, but about recognizing when they arise and consciously choosing to replace them with empowering, truthful, and purposeful ones. Over time, this rewires your brain, reshapes your beliefs, and transforms your life. Remember, what you think today shapes who you become tomorrow. So guard your mind carefully, feed it well, and understand that your thoughts are the soil from which the garden of your life grows. Cultivate them wisely and watch as your reality flourishes. Your words are the fruit of your thoughts, revealing what truly lives in the depths of your mind. Every word you speak is a window into your inner world, and through your speech, the invisible becomes visible. When negative thinking takes root, it inevitably colors your language, shaping not only what you say, but how you see yourself and your circumstances. The connection between thought and speech is so powerful that your words can either build a life of hope and progress or tear down your dreams and potential. This is why the saying, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue," holds such profound truth. What you consistently say reflects your beliefs and feeds back into your thinking, creating a cycle that either lifts you up or drags you down. When negative thoughts dominate, your words become weapons against yourself first and foremost. You might catch yourself saying, "I'm not good enough, I'll never make it," or "this always happens to me." These words are not harmless complaints, they are declarations that shape your reality. You reinforce the negative programming in your mind every time you speak defeat or doubt. The danger lies in the fact that most people do this unconsciously, unaware that their words are the fertile ground where their thoughts grow stronger. Instead of challenging the negativity, they nurture it with repeated speech, allowing it to take hold and influence their actions and outcomes. On the other hand, positive and purposeful words have the power to transform your thinking and your life. When you intentionally speak words of encouragement, faith, and possibility, you begin to reprogram your mind. These words challenge the lies and replace them with truth. Saying, "I can, I will, and I am capable" doesn't just boost your confidence temporarily, it rewires your brain to expect success and resilience. This creates new neural pathways that support growth, creativity, and perseverance. Over time, your language becomes a powerful tool for self-empowerment and transformation. Moreover, the words you speak influence not only your internal landscape, but also your external environment. People respond to your language, and your speech can inspire, motivate, or discourage those around you. When your words are filled with negativity, they repel opportunity and create barriers in relationships. But when you choose words that build others up, that affirm potential, and that communicate hope, you attract positive connections and open doors. Your words are seeds that can grow communities of support or fields of conflict. It is crucial, therefore, to become aware of your speech as a reflection of your thoughts and beliefs. Begin to listen to the language you use daily. Are your words rooted in fear, limitation, or regret, or are they grounded in hope, vision, and determination? By consciously choosing your words, you influence not only how you think, but how others perceive you and what you can achieve. Changing your vocabulary is not superficial. It is a vital part of transforming your mind and your life. Remember, your words are not just sounds. They are declarations of your inner world made manifest. To kill negative thinking, start with what you say. Speak life, speak truth, and watch as your reality begins to change. Your future is shaped by the language of your present. Choose it wisely. You cannot conquer what you continue to tolerate. Negative thinking often sneaks into our lives like a slow poison, subtle, persistent, and dangerous. It thrives in the places where we give it space, attention, or acceptance. When you allow negative thoughts to linger without challenge, you are essentially giving permission for them to grow stronger and more destructive. Tolerating negative thinking is like letting weeds grow in a beautiful garden. If left unchecked, those weeds will eventually choke out the life and beauty that was meant to flourish. To break free from the grip of negativity, you must first recognize it, confront it head on, and refuse to accept it as part of your reality. Tolerance of negative thinking often happens because we misunderstand its power. Many believe that thoughts are harmless, that they come and go without consequence. But thoughts are not just fleeting images. They are powerful forces that shape your emotions, decisions, and ultimately your destiny. When you tolerate negative thoughts, you are silently agreeing with messages that tell you you are less than enough, that you will never succeed, or that your dreams are impossible. These thoughts, when left unchallenged, become mental strongholds, conditioning your mind to expect failure and disappointment. The more you tolerate these lies, the more you become trapped in cycles of self-doubt and defeat. Breaking the cycle requires courage and intentionality. It means you must become a vigilant guardian of your mind, learning to identify negative thoughts the moment they arise. Awareness is the first step. When a discouraging thought enters your mind, do not ignore it or let it slide by unnoticed. Instead, confront it. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Does it serve my purpose? Often, you will find that negative thoughts are based on fear, past pain, or misinformation rather than reality. Once exposed, these thoughts lose their power. You can then actively choose to reject them and replace them with truths that align with your potential and purpose. Refusal to tolerate negativity also means setting boundaries, not just mentally, but in your environment. Pay attention to the people you interact with, the media you consume, and the conversations you engage in. Toxic influences can feed negative thinking, making it harder to break free. Protect your mind by surrounding yourself with positivity, encouragement, and truth. This is not about ignoring challenges or pretending life is perfect, but about refusing to allow negativity to dictate your mindset or your future. Moreover, conquering negative thinking requires persistence. It is not a one-time battle, but a daily fight. Just as physical fitness requires consistent exercise, mental and emotional health requires daily discipline in thought management. Affirm your worth, your purpose, and your capacity to overcome. Replace "I can't" with "I will try." Replace "it's impossible" with effort, I can achieve." These small acts of resistance build momentum over time, breaking the chains of negative thinking and opening the door to new possibilities. Ultimately, you must remember that conquering negative thinking is about reclaiming your power. When you stop tolerating thoughts that limit you, You begin to reclaim the destiny you were designed for. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the master of your mind. And from this place of mastery, true transformation begins. A transformed mind is the foundation of a transformed life. To cultivate a kingdom mindset means to rise above the ordinary, to reject the patterns of negativity and limitation that the world often imposes, and to align your thinking with a higher purpose and greater truth. This mindset is not shaped by fleeting emotions or external circumstances, but by a deep understanding of who you are and why you are here. It is a mindset rooted in identity, destiny, and the unwavering belief that your life has significance beyond the immediate struggles and setbacks you face. The world around us is filled with distractions, doubts, and discouragements designed to keep us confined to small thinking. Society often conditions us to focus on scarcity, fear, and survival rather than abundance, courage, and purpose. The kingdom mindset rejects this conditioning because it recognizes that life is not merely about reacting to circumstances, but about creating them through intentional thought and action. It understands that true power begins in the mind. What you believe shapes what you become. This mindset chooses to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Cultivating a kingdom mindset also means embracing the idea that your thoughts must be governed by truth. Truth is the cornerstone of any lasting transformation. When you allow lies or distorted beliefs to dictate your thinking, you remain trapped in cycles of doubt and defeat. But when you anchor your mind in truth, truth about your identity, your worth, and your purpose, you begin to think and act differently. Truth liberates the mind and releases the potential that has been waiting dormant inside you. It is the key that unlocks your full potential. This mindset is also characterized by resilience and vision. Those who cultivate it do not give in to temporary setbacks or discouragement. Instead, they maintain a long-term perspective, knowing that their current struggles are only a chapter in a much larger story. They envision a future shaped by hope and guided by purpose, refusing to be distracted or deterred by the noise of negativity around them. This vision fuels their determination and helps them keep moving forward even when the path is difficult. Furthermore, a kingdom mindset is proactive. It refuses to be passive or complacent. It understands that growth and progress require effort and intentionality. You cannot sit back and wait for circumstances to change or for negativity to disappear. You must take control of your thoughts, nurture positive beliefs, and actively pursue what aligns with your higher calling. This mindset thrives on discipline and consistency because it knows that transformation is a process, not an event. Finally, cultivating a kingdom mindset means recognizing that you are part of something greater than yourself. Your life is interconnected with others, and your mindset impacts not only your destiny, but the lives of those around you. When you think with a kingdom perspective, you become a source of inspiration and influence, helping to uplift others and contribute to a collective purpose. This mindset is not self-centered, but purpose-centered. It understands that true fulfillment comes from aligning your mind and actions with a higher mission. In essence, cultivating a kingdom mindset is the ultimate act of self-mastery. It is choosing to live beyond limitations, beyond fear, and beyond the negative voices that seek to hold you back. It is embracing the truth of who you are and stepping into the fullness of your potential with confidence and purpose. This mindset changes everything. It changes your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately your life. Taking control of your mind is the most important step toward transforming your life. The mind is the command center of everything you do. It dictates your emotions, decisions, and actions. Yet many people allow their minds to run wild with unchecked thoughts, leaving the door open to negativity, fear, and self-doubt. Taking control means becoming the intentional leader of your own thought life rather than a passive spectator. It requires awareness, discipline, and the willingness to confront and redirect your mental habits. Without this control, negative thinking can take root and grow unchecked. sabotaging your potential before you even step into your purpose. Control over the mind starts with awareness. You must first become conscious of what you are thinking. Most thoughts operate beneath the surface, automatic and often unnoticed. But your power lies in bringing those thoughts into the light of awareness. When you observe your thinking patterns carefully, you can identify which thoughts are harmful and which are helpful. This conscious observation is the foundation for mental mastery. Once you see the negative thoughts clearly, you are no longer controlled by them. Instead, you gain the power to challenge and change them. Discipline is the next crucial element. The mind, like a muscle, requires regular training to develop strength and resilience. If you allow your mind to wander freely, it will default to familiar patterns, which often include fear, doubt, and negativity. Discipline means setting boundaries for your thoughts, choosing what to entertain and what to dismiss. It involves daily practices such as affirmations, meditation, journaling, or prayer. Tools that help you focus your mind on what builds you up rather than tears you down. Discipline transforms your mental environment from chaotic to constructive, empowering you to think clearly and confidently. Taking control also involves replacing negative thoughts with empowering truths. It is not enough to simply reject negativity. You must fill the void with positive, truthful, and purposeful thoughts. Your mind cannot be empty, it must be fed. When you replace lies with truth, such as, I am capable, I am worthy, I can overcome, you create a mental atmosphere that fosters growth and resilience. This active refueling of your mind is what gradually rewires your brain to respond differently to challenges and setbacks. Moreover, taking control means protecting your mind from external influences that fuel negativity. This includes being mindful of the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, and the company you keep. Surround yourself with positivity, encouragement, and wisdom. This external mental nourishment supports your internal efforts and helps maintain a healthy mindset. Finally, mastering your mind requires perseverance. It is not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong commitment. The mind will always try to default back to old patterns, especially under stress or pressure. The difference is that when you have taken control, you recognize these moments and actively steer your thoughts back to constructive ground. Over time, this persistent effort transforms not only your thinking, but your entire life. Taking control of your mind is reclaiming your power. It is choosing to be the master of your thoughts rather than a victim of them. And when you master your mind, you unlock the door to limitless possibilities and a future shaped by your highest potential. Negative thinking is a thief that steals your peace, your confidence, and ultimately your future. It is relentless, persistent, and often disguised as realism or just being practical. But make no mistake, negative thinking does not protect you. It paralyzes you. It builds walls around your dreams and fences in your potential. If you want to live a life of purpose, power, and fulfillment, you must refuse to let negative thinking steal your destiny. This requires both awareness and bold action, because negative thoughts rarely announce themselves clearly. They creep in quietly through doubt, fear, procrastination, and self-criticism, quietly convincing you that you are not enough or that success is impossible. You have to become vigilant, recognizing these subtle lies before they take root. The first step in preventing negative thinking from stealing your destiny is to recognize its tactics. Negative thinking often disguises itself as caution or self-protection. It says things like, you can't risk failure, or better not try, because you might get hurt. These are not truths, they are fears dressed up as wisdom. When you listen to these thoughts, you give power to limitations instead of possibilities. Understanding this helps you distinguish between genuine prudence and crippling negativity. Prudence is a wise guardrail that keeps you safe while moving forward. Negativity is a roadblock that stops you in your tracks. Refusing to let negative thinking steal your destiny also means developing a mindset of resilience and hope. Life will challenge you, that is certain. but how you respond to those challenges defines your future. When negative thoughts arise, you must counter them with faith in yourself and your purpose. Speak back to those doubts with affirmations of your ability and worth. Remind yourself that every setback is temporary and every failure is a lesson, not a verdict. This mindset shift empowers you to keep moving forward even when the path seems difficult or uncertain. Taking action is another essential weapon against negativity. Negative thinking breeds inertia. It convinces you to wait, to hesitate, to do nothing. But destiny is shaped by those who act despite fear. Even small steps forward weaken the grip of negative thoughts. Action generates momentum, builds confidence, and breaks the cycle of doubt. Remember, progress is not about perfection, it is about persistent effort. The more you act, the more you affirm to your mind that success is possible, and the less space negativity has to thrive. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is equally important. Negative thinking often feeds off isolation. When you are alone with your doubts, they grow louder. But when you connect with supportive, encouraging people, their faith can help drown out your inner critic. Seek mentors, friends, or communities that uplift you and reinforce your potential. Their belief in you can be a powerful antidote to your own negative thoughts. Moreover, replacing negative thinking with intentional positive thoughts is vital. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant weeds, you will get weeds. If you plant seeds of hope, courage, and faith, you will grow strength and confidence. Make it a daily habit to feed your mind with uplifting, truthful, and inspiring messages. Read, listen, and meditate on things that build you up. Finally, understand that your destiny belongs to you and you alone. No one else can live your life or fulfill your purpose. Negative thinking attempts to steal your destiny by convincing you to settle for less, to give up, or to accept defeat prematurely. But you have the power to resist. You have the capacity to reclaim your thoughts, rewrite your story, and walk boldly into the future designed for you. Refuse to let negative thinking steal your destiny. Fight for your mind, fight for your future, and claim the abundant life that awaits.